point, and Jay, he will dive into a winning game plan for the Q4 2023 and into next year 2024. Some of this content, okay, personally, I don't usually share on the public Facebook live stream and the YouTube live stream. So if you want to get, insights, exclusive content, do register for this event. Once again, this is an in-person, so you need to be residing in Singapore, okay, to go for this event. And once again, it is just $10 per pax, okay? You get more value from ticket itself, okay? Back to you, June.
And that's right. As you know, MarketWise Asia holds such events every quarter, and our next event will be on 20th and 21st January 2024. This event will be extremely exciting because it's a new year. What's the new outlook and what are the new plans? So to get first-hand information to this, do register in advance. Similarly, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen right now to receive priority updates on this event. And with that, let me now give you a short introduction of our next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Chris Long. He's the founder of Kryptonite. The topic he's going to be talking about today is how to be profitably positioned for the next crypto bull run. Chris holds a Master of Science in Applied Finance from the Singapore Management University and is the sole recipient of the 2015 Columbia Threadneedle Investment Scholarship. He has been working in the banking industry as an investment banker before starting Trader.sg in 2017. Chris has a knack for simplifying the complex, identifying trends in the market, and offering investment insights. As a former banker, he was part of the team that originated numerous high-profile deals, such as Kroll's $50 million tap of existing 2020 bond and HDB's 2026 $600 million bond. Chris started researching into cryptocurrencies in mid-2016 and started investing in early 2017. Since then, he has reaped outsized returns in a very short time. Chris now makes it his business to share his knowledge and help others achieve the same level of success in investing. He has been featured in Money 89.3 FM Channel 8 and maintains one of the largest cryptocurrency groups in Singapore. More than 500 students have graduated from his course. So right now, let's all invite Chris Long up on our screens.
Hello. Hey, thanks, June, for the introduction.
All right, I'll hand the mic over to Chris.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, one and all. Thanks for having me on, Alex, as well as June. I'm going to dive straight into it because I was just sharing my slides with Alex, and the first thing he said was, there's a lot of slides. Do we have enough time? So I'm going to power through and try and get things done in time so that there are there's some time for question and answers. But before I begin, I just want to ask every one of you here in this chat, there's 139 participants from what I see. Those of you who already have crypto, can you let me know by typing in yes? If you don't have, can you let me know by typing in no? Right? Is it a little bit soft? Yeah. All right. Gotcha. Let me adjust this a little bit and see if it is better. How's this? Is this better? Okay.
Yes, better now.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So back to the question, if you already have crypto, let me know by typing in yes. If you don't have it, you can let me know by typing in no as well. So I get a bit of a sensing as to whether or not you guys are in the crypto space. Whether or not you're in, today I want to share with you some experience I've had over the years on how you can profitably position for the next bull run. All right, so let's get started. Quick introduction. I think earlier on, June have already did an intro. So I used to work as an investment bank. We do something called debt capital markets, where we help companies, governments, institutions to issue bonds. So we have originated more than $1 billion worth of bond. In terms of my education, I've got a Master's of Applied Finance from SMU and got a scholarship there as well. Some of the deals that we originated include HDB's $500 million bond, as well as UOB covered bond. This is the first one that's done out of Asia, in fact. So that's a bit of an example of the kind of professional background I have. How did I get started in crypto? So I used to work in this place, Raffles, yeah, if you guys recognize it. And the thing about investment banking is that it's a very promising and very lucrative, if I may use that word, career. You get paid a lot and you do very sophisticated stuff, but the hours are grueling. So I used to work 18 hours a day, Mondays to Sundays, and it wasn't something I want in life because I was looking at my bosses. They were in their 40s and 50s then, and they were pulling 12-hour days as well. So that's when I got started investing in crypto. I actually invested back in 2016, and I bought crypto or Bitcoin when it was less than $1,000. Ethereum was less than 100 when I started. So following my career in investment banking, when my friends realized I invested in crypto, they started to ask me to teach them. That naturally evolved into me starting a business educating the retail public about cryptocurrency, and that business is called Kryptonite Academy. So we were established, or we are established in 2017. As an academy, we have gone through 2 cycles. The first bull cycle, 2017, the second bull cycle in 2020, and then the first bear market in 2018, and then the second bear market, which we are currently going through, started in 2020 as well. So are you guys familiar with what cycles are? Meaning to say, when I say this word cycle, are you guys familiar with what I'm referring to? Type in yes if you do. Type in no if you are not, and then I can quickly do an explanation. Okay, so while you guys are typing, we just want to highlight that we have shared about cryptocurrency to more than 33,000 students over 100 sessions. And we were the alpha movers in very technical but profitable methods in terms of what you can do with crypto. For example, you can actually use options in the world of crypto. So we were first to introduce that in 2019. There's this thing called decentralized finance and yield farming. We introduced that in 2020, and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We introduced that in 2021. Right now, we are developing our 5th product, which is blockchain analytics. Yeah. Okay, so some of you guys aren't familiar. So when I say crypto cycle, right, what it really means is that during the last decade, we noticed that markets in crypto tend to move in cycles, where it goes up and then it goes down, and then it stabilizes, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it stabilizes. So this entire portion here is what is called a cycle, something that expands and then contracts. So you think of it as the seasons, all right? You have spring, then you have summer, then you have autumn, and then you have winter. So winter is really cold, everything kind of dies off in a sense. And then after that, spring comes again and summer comes again and things grow. So that cycle is what I am referring to. All right. So I'll explain a little bit more later on as well. But to continue, some of the things that we have done since we started the academy, we have spoken at conferences around Southeast Asia and have media appearances in like your radio shows and channeling interviews as well. Yeah. So with that, let's look at how the current cycle, or where the current cycle in crypto is. The lowest peak of Bitcoin actually happened sometime in 2022, where Bitcoin hit 19,000. All right, that's the most recent cycle and the most recent floor, or the lowest price of Bitcoin. Now, this is a drop of 72% from its peak. Meaning to say, right now, when we look at crypto, you can kind of call crypto investors suffering, or they are kind of like going through like a bad phase right now, because crypto has basically crashed by 72% and it hasn't quite recovered just yet. All right. Now, with that, what we have observed is naturally in the world of crypto investing, there isn't a lot of interest. So I'm pretty surprised and encouraged to see that there's 160 of you guys here today. Very interesting thing about buying and selling is that most people like to buy low and sell high, correct? Do you guys think that buy low and sell high is a good idea? Okay, let me know by typing in good if it is a good idea. So very often people kind of get the concept of buying low and selling high. But what we really observe in reality is that when prices are low, do people get interested in the market or do people get interested in the asset? And very often the answer is no, right? But one of my favorite quotes is actually by Steve Jobs. He says to stay hungry, to stay foolish, and to stay curious. My observation is that when markets are down, when crypto markets are down, it is very often the curious, and sometimes they may even be called the foolish, that comes into crypto. And very often, in my experience as well, that it is the curious and the foolish that obtain the biggest opportunities when prices are low. So with that, let me just continue on to share about how to position yourself now that markets are quiet and now that crypto prices are low. There are three main things I would attribute to success. The first is when you're building a portfolio, you need to have a system. You need to think about how do you want to build a portfolio? How do you want to enter? What are some metrics to look at? Second thing I think that's really important is to risk on with high return altcoins. If you're in crypto and you're just doing Ethereum, Bitcoin, I think it's okay. It probably can maybe still outperform the general S&P index. But I mean, I think that if you want to come into crypto, you should really be trying to get your 10x and your 20x. So your 10x's and your 20x's currently can only be found in altcoins already. Third is that there are currently a lot of tools in crypto and blockchain that helps you make better decisions. So today I'm going to share with you how you can look at blockchain data to help you with your investment decisions as well. All right. So let's start with the front, a systematic way of entering and exiting. Now in this market, it is actually really important to have a systematic way of entering and exiting because as you can see in a single day, right, crypto can move by 30% up. And the very same day, another crypto can move by 40% or 39% downwards. So in such a volatile market, if you don't have a mechanism or you don't have a system on how you want to buy and build and sell, very often you're going to be trashed around by your emotions, right? You're either going to be afraid all the time to click buy, or you're going to be so greedy to think that prices will always go up that you will not sell. So one way to help you with that is to understand this thing called the Bitcoin cycle. Okay, so I'm going to get all of you guys to type in this. Can you all type in BTC cycle into the chat? So at different points of the presentation, the things that I'm going to type inside are the most important things, okay? So when you type it in, you'll be able to remember, okay, this is the thing that Chris says is important. So I'll wait a while for you guys to type it in to make sure that you're aware that this is the part that is a little bit more important. Yeah, you got it? Okay, BTC cycle. So what is the Bitcoin market cycle? It is actually a pattern of price behavior in the Bitcoin market that is characterized by price appreciation and depreciation. So in simple terms, it means price go up and then price goes down. Now, why is it important that we look at Bitcoin? The reason is because Bitcoin is the biggest crypto out there, and how it moves is something that influences the entire market. So what actually influence the Bitcoin cycles? Well, things like market sentiments, of course, things like regulation, technology advancements, economic conditions, but there's something that is a little bit different for Bitcoin versus every other asset out there, which is this thing called Bitcoin halving. So approximately every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin or the new supply that comes out from Bitcoin reduces by half. So in the very early days, for example, maybe there is 50 Bitcoin created every 10 minutes. After the first halving, it becomes 25. After the third halving, it becomes 12.5. After the next halving, it becomes 6.25. And then after the next one, it becomes 3, then 1.3 point something, then 1 point something, so on and so forth. So this halving process roughly happens once every 4 years. Okay. So every 4 years, the number of new supply speed of Bitcoin that's been created drops by half. Yeah, follow me so far? Yes. Now, what this has created is something called the Bitcoin cycle. So because there is a halving event, the rate of supply of new Bitcoin slows down, and overall, the supply is actually affected. What we have seen in the past is that every time there is this reduction in new supply, when it is combined with a stable or even an increased demand, it causes a sharp rise in the price of Bitcoin. All right. So there's 4 phases typically in this market cycle. Okay, so can you type 4 phases? Can you just so that you guys are familiar and aware and alert to what I'm talking about? So everybody type in 4 phases. All right, and later I'm going to give you some graphics. I know that there's a lot of words here, so you might feel like, Chris, a lot of words are like, I can't catch up. But later I'm going to show you some image that will help you be more familiar with it. So the first phase is called an accumulation phase. So this is where prices are still low, but there are small indications of growth. All right, you can read the rest. The second is a phase that is called continuation. So continuation phase essentially means the price is slowly rising again, and it is approaching the previous all-time high. Now, historically, right, this point aligns with the halving event. What is halving event, guys? It is this thing that I was talking about here, Bitcoin halving event. Okay, so it typically aligns with this Bitcoin halving event. And if you accompany this with any decreasing reserves in the exchange, buyers will begin to start to rapidly increase their purchase of supply or their purchase of Bitcoin to anticipate for the next phase of the market. Phase 3 is called parabolic. So the parabolic phase starts when the price surpasses the previous all-time high, and it just essentially starts to rapidly move up. Now, this phase is very volatile, very often marked by huge price rises and also substantial corrections. Okay, so you're going to see increased volume during this phase as well as increased price volatility. And finally, phase 4 is correction, where the markets undergo a major downward correction. So this is essentially saying that the market or the price of Bitcoin crashes. Historically, it crashes by about 80% from its peak, thereabouts. Then, this correction phase or negative price action usually lasts for a year after the correction. For example, in the most recent market cycle, Bitcoin hit a peak of 69,000. This was in November 2021. 1 year later, November 2022, last year, it hit a low. The lowest point was actually 15,476. So it's about 80% drop. Okay, are y'all following me so far? Yes, type in yes if you are. Yeah, any question y'all can just feel free to ask, okay? Then as and when, I will either answer it now or I will answer it at the end of session. But this cycle thing is important, all right? If you can understand this cycle thing, it's actually very, very useful to crypto investors. So this is what it looks like on the chart, okay? So over here, this blue thing is the halving event. Yeah, it is the halving event. So you see these blue little circles here, these are the time where the supply is halved. Now you can see that the halving event is normally marked with phase 2, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So currently, what phase are we in? We are in phase 1. Okay, and what is phase 1 called? Yeah, are you guys there? Not really hearing any response. Am I lagging? Yeah, if you guys are there, help me by typing in the chat lah. Then I'm able to know that you are following. Okay, so we're in phase 1. Yeah, very good, very good. Thanks, Cheryl, Richard, yeah, Sadie, Stephen. So we are phase 1, which means that we are currently in the accumulation phase. In fact, if you look in the chart, 2023 is here. We are about here already. If I had to be very specific, okay, we are about here. Meaning to say, guys, we are very quickly going to be leaving phase 1 and entering into phase 2. Now, if you're an investor, what is the most important thing for you? The most important phases for you, right, is phases 3 and phases 4. Because by the time you enter phase 3, this is the time where you want to be fully allocated. And phase 4, towards the start, is the time where you want to be selling off, or at least taking profits on some of your position. Which essentially means, at least to me, the logical thing to do is to accumulate and buy during phase 1 and 2. And phase 1 and 2 is the hardest to buy because everyone is not interested in the market anymore. The markets have crashed, people have lost confidence in crypto, and frankly speaking, most of them might be feeling a little bit afraid or worried to get back in. Okay, but understanding these cycles gives you an inclination of what historical behavior of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is all about. Yeah. So one of the things that I like to do apart from using this cycle is to use a matrix called the MVRVZ matrix. Okay. So this matrix is actually a live matrix. And you notice that if you look at this black color line here, the black color line symbolizes the price of Bitcoin. Okay, this symbolizes the price of Bitcoin is locked. Essentially, what we want to look at is this orange color line. So the orange color line is the MVRVZ score. Every time the Z score enters the red, it means that it is not a good time to buy. When it enters the green, historically, it means these are good periods to buy. So when MVRVZ score is in the green area, it is a period where I'm paying attention to the markets, waiting to re-enter into my position. You notice that in phase 4, it's a little bit small, but basically phase 4 ties in with 2022 November period. And the MVRVZ score, it actually also entered the green zone in the November 2022 or early 2023 period. So this entire period is here. So when you have two affirmations like this, right, I call it two confirmations or two affirmations. What it essentially means is the signs are there, right? The signs are there that markets are bottoming out and it poses a good opportunity to buy in. So you can see this, the exact date is November 2022. I'm not sure if you guys were around last year or if you listened to any talks that I gave towards the end of last year, but I think at the end of last year, a lot of people were predicting that 2023 is going to be very bad. That means they're saying that this year is going to be very bad for the markets and to wait out before buying. But I remember sharing with the people then to say that in November, right, I'll go out on a limb to say markets will probably bottom and crypto winter should be more or less over. So using Ethereum as a proxy, right, we begin to see that in November 10, after this drop, Ethereum prices were basically at the 1,000, maybe 1,100 region. So since then, right, Ethereum prices have moved up, right? 6 months later, it actually moved up by 80%. And even now, it has not gone back to these bottoming portions as well. So it's kind of been sideways for the entire 2023. So far, it has gone up and down, but it has mostly been sideways without visiting the lows. Okay, now you need to compare that with the cycles. Is that typically what happens during the accumulation phase? And as you have it, it is a yes, right? During the accumulation phase to the continuation phase, prices tend to zigzag, but they usually don't hit the lows anymore. They usually don't hit the lows anymore. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is that crypto markets, by observation, have been following these cycles in the past, and currently it is still following the cycle. Okay, wow, still a lot of things. You're following so far? Okay, let me know if it's okay by typing in okay in the chat. And then stop me or ask me questions if you guys have some parts that you don't quite understand. Okay, so in the world of crypto market, it's like that. Like there are a lot of ways you can look into how to invest. There are a lot of tools that you can use. So I personally really like crypto because it allows me to a little bit more dynamic in terms of my learning. It's a kind of market that if you put in the effort and you put in the time, right, you can actually outperform people. Immature market, it is something that allows you to use a small amount of money, but when things go up or when things go parabolic, you can actually get really, really high returns while limiting the risk of your capital. So even for myself, when I started in 2016, I actually only started with $8,000 invested. So this is in 2016. All right. So in 2016, I invested my $8,000 actually became 150K. And then when the bear market came, it crashed down to 20K as well. So from there, after it crashed, right, in 2018, 2019, I continued to invest, right? So in total, I put in about 120K. Then what happened is that 2020 came about. So 2020 was the previous parabolic run. Can you see here? 2020 is this period. So 2020 all the way to 2021 was the most recent parabolic run. So Chris started 2016. So I started here. So I've been through one up, one down, and then in 2020, 2021, it was the second up that I had. So by then, I had already developed a profit-taking system that I use. And during this period, right, my portfolio actually reached a peak of 70x. So meaning to say that if we in about 100K, at this point, I had about 7 million. And I was taking profit like crazy, right? So some of you, if you have been following me, you have noticed that throughout the period of 2020, I was telling people to sell, to take profit, to sell, until markets crash again, which is today's timing, 2023. So at this point, I still have crypto, I have my profits that I've taken. Net, I am still up about 30 to 40x. So let's call it 3.5 million, all right? With a total investor capital, let's say 100K. So this is kind of like how my journey has been so far. Crypto markets have been up and down, but if you have taken profits at the correct time, you would be a lot better off than where you have started from. So for me, I started with 100K. Even though I am not at my peak, I am still a lot better off than where I started from. And how did that come about? Basically, understanding cycles and having the discipline and the system and the strategy to take profits during the up cycles and to buy during the down market cycles, right? Makes sense, right? At least that's how I see crypto lah. It's fairly simple when it comes to the broader markets. So from there, we go a little bit more in depth. From now onwards, right? If you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can probably get a few 100% return. But for you to get 10, 20, 30x return, it's a little bit more difficult, in my opinion. You would need to do altcoin investing. So altcoins are basically crypto that is not Bitcoin or not Ethereum. Usually we call this alternative cryptocurrencies. You can think of investing in altcoins similar to Ronald Wayne investing 10% or selling 10% of his stake in Apple for 2,300. The same stake is worth 300 billion today because in 1976, Apple is a startup. So buying altcoins at this stage, right, is kind of similar to altcoin or kind of similar to startup investing. Now, why I personally think every crypto investor should invest in altcoin or should have a way to pick winning altcoins is because if you look at something like this, all right, so this is Bitcoin pricing. Okay, guys, everyone, this is Bitcoin pricing. And you notice that in the early cycles, over here, okay, over here, Bitcoin went from $10 to $1,000 over dollars. So this first movement, right, is actually maybe like 13x over here. Then, no, sorry, 130x. It's about 130x. Then this is the second parabolic run. So the second parabolic run, you begin to see it go from about $1,000 about lah to about 20k. So this is about 20x. Then the third parabolic run is over here. It's about 10k to 60k. This is about 6x. Now, when you look at these parabolic runs, right, the returns, right, what do you notice about it? So during these parabolic run movements over the past 12 years, what do you notice about the price movement from the start of the parabolic bull to the end? 130x, then 20x, then 6x. Yes, Shirley, exactly correct, Richmond. You notice that the returns are getting lesser, or like what Shirley said, the jumps or the pumps are diminishing. Now, the next one, right, assuming that it only gets half, each parabolic bull run lasts about a year. Let's say it only gets half, 3x. While it may sound, it's not very great, if you can actually get 300% or 3x your capital in a year, it's actually already very good. You know what I'm trying to say? So macro, what we call beta wise in terms of crypto, is still going to outperform S&P. But then, I mean, if we want to come into crypto, honestly, what we are really hoping for, I guess lah, is at least 20x. Correct? Is that what your expectation is when you're coming to crypto? Or are you guys happy with like 3x? Yeah. You can type it in the chat. If y'all think that you are the one that wants to do 20x, type in 20x. If y'all think 3x is good enough, type in 3x. But my personal take on coming into crypto is that I want to try to be getting more than 3x lah, or it should be about 20x since I'm taking quite a bit of risk. So for that, right, you definitely need to look into altcoins. So for the same period, okay, 1 year, the 2020 to the 2021 to 2022 period of an altcoin. For Bitcoin, it is about 6x. But if you look at something like Solana, which is an alternative cryptocurrency on altcoin, in 1 year, right, it actually went up by 71x. Okay, so for 1,000 you invest into Solana in January, it will become 71,000 in January 22. In fact, it actually peaks out at about 250x, right? If you manage to sell right at the peak. Another example is this. In the most recent times, we have seen Ethereum bottom. November 22 to August, it was a 70% increase. Very decent, very good, outperform S&P. But if you look at altcoins, for the same period, right, instead of 70%, it went up by 450%. So what is Chris trying to say here? I'm trying to say that if we want to look at altcoins, or we want to look at crypto, while things like Bitcoin and Ethereum is good, it is also important to know how to select and choose altcoins to get a higher beta return when the markets recover. So step number one, what cycle and which part of the cycle are we in? Step number two, when we enter into a parabolic bull cycle, how do I risk on a little bit more? And the answer is, I want to risk on with altcoins. Okay, clear so far? So before jumping straight in, there are some realities in altcoins that you should know about. The first is that you must remember what comes up fast will go down fast also. And number two, there are a lot of altcoins to choose from. So remember to be selective and shortlist the best altcoins to buy into. Okay. So how many altcoins are there? Actually, there are more than 7,000 altcoins out there. So there's really, really quite a lot. And many of these altcoins actually become losers. So if you buy an altcoin like ICP when it launched, you would lose about 95%. Coins like BLES, BS1, DEXT, all of them are altcoins and they all will drop more than 90%. Yeah. So you must be selective lah. You must have like a way to shortlist or have some concepts or strategies on how to shortlist and pick the altcoins that are best out there. And even blue chips like Luna, which is a very big altcoin, very popular altcoin in its day, it can also crash. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna just take a quick pause. You guys, are y'all following me so far? If following, can you type in yes? If you have any questions, just feel free to type in the questions or to stop me as well. I see some questions like from Sadie. Does it go in par with the stock market? Not all the time. When there's massive risk off, then crypto goes off as well. But historically speaking, the correlation is not as high, crypto and the stock markets. Yeah. Yeah, which platform to buy crypto? I use tokenized in Singapore. You can use Coinbase as well. Okay, yeah, Ken, very good. Okay, so even though all coins are very scary, right? Let me encourage you. One winner, right, can actually change your life. So what do I mean by that? So when I was buying altcoins and cryptocurrencies in 2018 and 2019 during the bear market, I can share that during those times it was very bad. After the crash in 2018, things were very bad. People are just not interested in crypto anymore. Now I have 180 of you. I still remember in the last cycle, right? The worst event I actually hold, or the worst stock I actually hold, and it was a live event, a physical event. I actually booked a place for it, and only one person showed up. Yeah. So that entire event, only one person showed up, and it was so awkward because that person asked, "Do you still want to do your presentation?" Because I'm only one person, but I was already there. The guy also making his way down. I still remember he was an MOE teacher, so I gave the presentation lah, and I taught him about cryptocurrency. So that guy, right, as it turns out, right, was the mark of the market bottom, right? So today, markets are slowly improving already, even though things are still recovering. You can tell that the interest in crypto is still around. And during that period where things were very down, I found this altcoin called Torchain. So I put Initially I put $500 in it. Over time, this increased to 5-digit. But to give you a bit of context about how this altcoin did, during the parabolic bull run, $1,000 invested in altcoins, right, would have gone up by 139x. So this was my top performing altcoin that I've ever invested in. It was worth, I put in about 10, maybe 15,000. At its peak, it was worth about 1.4 million from 10 over 1,000. And that's why I think I am convinced that if you want to play the crypto game, right, you must search for things like that. You must search for the gems, because you can put in a limited capital, meaning to say if you put in 500 or you put in 1,000, that's the maximum you can lose, right? $500, $1,000. But when the parabolic run starts, only in crypto can you get 139x in a year. No other asset, I think, allows you to do that. So I limit the amount of risk by limiting the size of capital that I put in. And then when it runs, I must allow it to run and just take profits along the way. So there's certain milestones and metrics that you want to look out for, that you can trim your profit along the way and allow your capital to appreciate as well. Yeah. So with this, I think that was something that basically really transformed my portfolio lah. And really only need one or two of these altcoins for you to succeed in crypto. So even now, in the recent months, we are still getting altcoins that are performing like so, like Pendle. This went up by 1,600% in 6 months. Yeah. So okay, wow, I realized that time is a little bit tight. So Alex is right. I need to go faster. Let me skip these few slides. Okay, I think maybe this one is quite important. Now, in the world of crypto, right? Just if you're getting started, just be careful of some dangers in crypto. For example, there are a lot of phishing websites out there. Take note and be careful about it. And there are also a lot of scammers and hackers that are out in the space. So if you're getting started fresh, I would say please get yourself educated. Maybe learn from a course like what we are providing, or maybe learn from someone with more experience. Because in the world of crypto, right, the guys are really smart. Their blockchain is technology, right? They can actually use technology to change their faces, change their voice, make it very, very convincing. Sometimes when you make a trade, or when you go to the blockchain and you do a transaction online, you can actually get scammed, right? So there are guys who bought NFTs and make lots of money. This dude bought this NFT called a BAYC. He got scammed out of 4x by using a wrong link, and that link had a hack embedded in it. It was malicious. So he lost like $1 million from this. It is very, very difficult to recover after you lose the money, because the police can't actually help you, and the blockchain is permanent. Yeah. So be careful, okay, if you are new. In terms of mindset and approach, right, I think the best way to go about it is, number one, when you go into crypto, right, just always assume that you are learning. Even after 7 years in the space, I still see myself as a student. I think humility is quite important. Always assume that you don't know things, and learn as much as you can and continue learning along the way. Tap into people with real expertise. In the world of crypto, especially if you go online, there are a lot of influencers out there. Honestly, they don't know anything, but they are just marketers. So they're just marketing you all kind of weird coins, or they are just pretending to know a lot so that you'll follow them and they get influence, and then they will try to create some pump and dumps. So just remember to tap into people with real expertise, and you must be able to identify true cost and true reward. In crypto, sometimes people get carried away and they're spending so much time trying to earn $50 or $100. Don't, you must be able to identify what are the trades that are worth taking, what are the portfolios and the coins that are worth accumulating and building, and then you just focus on that. So don't spread yourself too thin. If not, you are spending a lot of time and money, but you're not reaping enough reward. So I find that these are the best mindsets and approaches when it comes to crypto lah. Gonna skip this a little bit as well. Yes, I think this one is important. One example about true cost and reward is something like FTX. So FTX is an exchange that went bankrupt. Even guys like Tom Brady, even Temasek, they actually lost money in FTX. So sometimes it's not that they didn't get warning. Like for myself, the moment I hear something happening at FTX, I immediately told my students, I told my connections, I say, okay, guys, there are some reports coming out. Okay, keep your radar and eyes on FTX. So one of the questions that people ask is, should I withdraw my money from FTX? Because it's very troublesome. There are some fees involved. And my advice was just withdraw it first for safety. The cost is your time, maybe a few dollars of withdrawal fee. But the reward is very big. If FTX collapse, you will save your entire crypto holdings. So being able to identify that is important, right? And a lot of people who left money inside, unfortunately, they're stuck lah, right? But those that withdraw it, at least they have their capital with them. They can sell it or shift it anytime they want. Okay, so don't do it alone. Learn from experienced mentors. And point number 3 is to use tools of a crypto millionaire. Now, you can obviously trade CFDs or buy crypto on main exchanges. But in order to get the supernormal gains, right, you need to be able to use the tools of the trade. So things like Etherscan, Uniswap, Nansen, these are tools that you can use that give you an edge. So for example, using blockchain analytics, and I want to show you an example of what this looks like. Are you able to see my screen? Yes? No? Yeah, if can, let me know by typing in yes, or let me know by typing in can. Can? Okay, good. Now, I don't have time to go into details, obviously, about the selection of altcoins and how to build a portfolio. But let me just point you guys in the general direction, and then y'all can explore your way there, all right? So this is a blockchain analytics tool. Now, what I'm looking at is a coin called Lido. So you can name any coin you like, right? You can even call like SNX. Okay, so this is one of the tokens out there. Okay, so when you click on it, the beauty of blockchain, right, is that everything is live. Every trade that is being handled on the blockchain is live and is recorded simultaneously. So when I look at a coin like SNX, I can immediately scroll down and see what are some of the trades that are happening. So you can see in the last 2 hours, 4 hours, how many trades are happening and how big the sizes are. You can even see the top transactions that are happening and who are the counterparties that are doing the transactions. On top of that, this is probably super useful as an investor. You can look at how the token distribution looks like. Where are the tokens being held? If you look at SNX, you can see that 22% is held by centralized exchange, 1.95 is held by funds, and then 1.6 held by smart money, and so on. Then you can break down to see who holds majority of each token. So from there, you're able to tell, okay, is this token controlled by one person? How much float is there? Is it well distributed? If it's in a contract, how often does the contract pay out the tokens? So very, very useful information that is just shared on the blockchain, and you can use, the data to do some analytics for this, right? So this is one of the tools that you can use to make some of your investment decisions. Let me come back to my slides. And from there, you can do really cool stuff. Like here is where I go into a little bit more advanced stuff like yield farms. So you can, during a certain period in 2020, there's something called DeFi summer. You can actually use your capital, right, in crypto and earn 800% during that period. 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 800% during that period And at the same time, you can do, I'm going to skip this part, okay? At the same time, right, you can also do what is called alpha testing. Okay. So you all know, like sometimes software companies, or I don't know if you all remember that many years ago when Grab first started in Singapore, you can sign up to be a Grab driver, and they give you a lot of these things called incentives. So Grab driver last time they can just drive normally, but they can earn 9,000 to 12,000 a month for about 6 months period. The reason they do that is because these technology companies or Grab wants to get people to join them, get people to test the technology, and get people to adopt the technology. So they give incentive. In the world of crypto, got such thing as well, which is called an airdrop. So over here, I tested, or I was one of the alpha users of a blockchain called Optimism. Yeah. So when they launched their token, they rewarded the early users with free token. So you can see I got rewarded with about 28,700 tokens of Optimism. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you can actually search on crypto, that can learn how to do, that you can do alpha testing or early investing to get airdrops or to get incentives and reward. I think that right now, probably the best way to earn from crypto is to try to get these kind of airdrops. Yeah. So every year there's like a couple of times this happens. And if you have participated in that blockchain or that decentralized application, you'll be able to be eligible for the airdrops as well. Yeah. So learning the right tools of the trade. Okay. Basically, in the world of crypto, there are many things you can do. Make sure to try and learn them, and you'll be able to utilize each of these tools to profit from the world of crypto in numerous different ways lah. Yeah. Okay, so how to position yourself? As a recap, you need to have a system to build a portfolio. You need to risk on with high return altcoins, and you need to learn various different tools from this. Yeah. So before I go on to the question and answer, yeah, I think I'm going to be really short in time. I just thought, like, would you guys be interested to look at something called staking? Let me type this in. So staking is like a form of passive income that you can do for Ethereum. So if you are interested, type in yes. Maybe I take some time to show you guys if you are in crypto, what you can actually do to stake, or if you're not in crypto and you want to get started, how you can actually get some passive income in the world of crypto. Yeah. Okay, so let me just stop share. I want to open up my where is my share screen? Yeah, I want to open up my web browser over here. Okay. So those of you who want to buy crypto, right? One of the cool things about crypto is this thing called staking. If, for example, you buy a crypto like Ethereum, you can actually stake, or another word for stake, right, is called lock the Ethereum up. And if you lock it up, you are able to generate for yourself more and more Ethereum every day. So for example, over here, I've got about 200 Ethereum, okay, that I am staking on Lido. So I'm getting about 4.3%. Okay, so I only show the rewards. You can see that I started in April, 9th of April. And when I lock my Ethereum, right, what it does is that it kind of becomes like a fixed deposit. You can think of like a fixed deposit. But this fixed deposit, right, the interest is paid out every single day rather than once a year. So same thing as a fixed deposit, I can unlock it and then I can just take out the money or sell it for dollars straight away. But as long as it's locked, I will be able to get APR. So you can see over here, I'm getting about $40, $50, $80 every single day. So the number fluctuates depending on how much network activity there is on Ethereum. But thereabouts, it moves between $30 to $60 every single day lah. So I find that this is something that is quite useful, especially during the accumulation phase in the market, because the price is not moving much. Doesn't go up, doesn't go down, it's just stagnant. But as it is remaining stagnant, the number of Ethereum that I'm getting increases every single day, right? So $40-$50 US is about 2,000 Sing per month. 1 year is about 24,000. Pretty decent lah, in my opinion. Yeah. So if you're invested in crypto, if you're buying Ethereum, do remember to learn how to stake. Okay. Ken, you guys doing okay so far? Yeah. Denise asked, is staking in tokenized exchange as good as Lido? Yes. I think tokenized is 5%. It is slightly higher than Lido, in fact. Yeah, good question. Okay. Now, this none is for those people who are new, and also for those people who maybe started investing and you kind of stopped. People often ask, okay, Chris, when's the best time to get started in crypto? And I like to say now. So the benefits of being in crypto, right? People might think or might feel that I need to be very smart or I need to be very analytical to do well. However, when it comes to asset classes that are new, right? Crypto is very new, barely a decade old, maybe 12 years old at most. But if you are early, you don't really need to be exceedingly a genius or like super involved in the finance world for you to do well. So all the stories I always share is the story of Bex. Bex is one of my students. He works as a real estate agent. He learned about crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum in 2016. He invested 2,000 Bitcoin and 1,000 Ethereum. And by the first cycle, he actually had as much as $4 million. So half of that to invest into gold, real estate, and watches, and keep the remainder in a hardware wallet. Now, why I like to share about this story is because look at Bex, right? He is just a normal Singaporean. Yeah. So I think that what made him different or what made him successful is really simply he is early lah. He started in 2016, same time as me, right? Students in 2017 were asking me, is it too late to buy Bitcoin at 3,000? Now think about it. If today you can buy Bitcoin at 3,000, would you? The answer is obvious yes, because you know that it's going to be 30K. You will also ask another question. Is it too late to buy a $30,000 Bitcoin? That's the big question. Like, is it too late? My answer now would be that markets are different compared to 2017. For you to get your 9x, 10x, 20x return, you probably need to execute it with a different strategy other than just buying Bitcoin. And you probably need to assemble and build your portfolio in a different manner. That's my thoughts about it lah. But can it still outperform normal markets? In my opinion, I think yes. You are taking more risk. Obviously, your expected return is going to be higher as well. On top of that, we begin to observe big institutions and big money starting to move in. So you see Microsoft, right, beginning to buy NFT, metaverse related stuff. You see guys like JP Morgan that used to be skeptical about Bitcoin begin to unveil access to crypto funds. You see the European Parliament approving of crypto licensing. DBS says that Bitcoin trading is up by 80%. In the recent times, right, you notice companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, what are they doing? They are actually applying for a Bitcoin ETF. Meaning to say that when and if this ETF is approved, it would allow for institutional funds to come in. So right now, institutional funds cannot buy crypto. They don't have the mandate for it. They are not allowed to do it. They can only buy other ETFs and other funds. So if a Bitcoin ETF is actually approved, then money from all these funds can begin to flow in. For context, right, cryptocurrency is about this big. The price of one stock is about this big. The price of the entire money supply is about like this big. And of course, global debt that is fueling a lot of things is too big to be even in the picture. So the way I go about doing it is that I feel that for the next cycle, which is catalyzed, or the catalyst being the Bitcoin halving, what's going to happen, or what I am hoping to happen and waiting to happen, is to see institutional funds begin to flow in. So with that flow, that's what's going to push up the demand and the price of crypto. And that is the part where I will be looking out for to sell. Yeah. So okay. So still managed to make it in time lah. Yeah. Andy asked, what is your reply to Charlie Munger's downers on crypto? I don't know what's his downers there. I'm happy for you to type it here, but I probably don't have a reply to it lah. I mean, there are a lot of people who love crypto. There are a lot of people who hate crypto. There are a lot of people who love Tesla. There are a lot of people who hate Tesla. At the end of the day, right, we have to make our own decision on how we want to play it. Did crypto go up like a rocket? It did. Did it sink like a rock? It did. So the key is not to say that it go up and go down a lot. The key is when it go up and go down a lot, can you make money from it? That's my take lah. So you then must think about how you want to make money from it if you know that it is going to go up and down a lot, which is exactly why I share about the cycles today. I'm not saying that crypto is going to go up perpetually. I'm not saying that it is legitimate or not legitimate. I'm saying that it behaves in a certain way. And when you understand that it behaves in a certain way, you can position your portfolio in a certain way. And obviously, you position it to make money for yourself. Yeah. So that's my answer lah. I hope that's okay, Andy. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Feel free to ask me questions, but
There are questions in the Q&A tab. You want to go through them?
Oh, yeah. Let me ask the Q&A tab. But before I go to the Q&A, I just want to just check in with the audience. Did you guys learn something useful today? If it is useful, can you let me know by typing in useful? Then I'm able to get a sensing if I manage to answer some of your questions. Okay, so Melvin, let's go from the top. I think Caleb was first, right? Yeah. So Caleb, why did you not sell near the peak at 70x or close? That's your Bitcoin. So Caleb, the reason is because I find it hard to time the absolute top and to time the absolute bottom. So essentially, when I think about market cycles, right, I don't go all in or all out. I just adjust the percentage of my crypto and cash. So when it goes to the top, right, basically in the entire parabolic phase, at different parts, I have already sold off for profit. The reason why I don't sell everything, right, is that what if it goes up 10x, but it will go up 50x or 100x after that? Then I will miss out on the entire parabolic rise. So I believe in this quote lah. They say that people often take profits too quickly and take losses too slowly. So for me, I want to allow my portfolio in crypto to go up, but I de-risk along the way when certain milestones are hit. Okay, let me know if that answers your question. Shirley, how do you shortlist altcoins? Manual criteria. So for that, right, it really takes a little bit more time. But what we have at Kryptonite Academy is we actually have a 2.5-day boot camp that goes more in depth about crypto. If you guys are keen to learn about that, you can let me know by typing keen in the chat. Then I will be happy to share a little bit more about how you can join the boot camp, and more details about it. So if you are keen to hear about the 2.5-day boot camp, type in keen in the chat, and then I will share a little bit more with you. Richmond, how to identify coin is safe to trade? Maybe a few analytics we have to check. Yes, So usually for looking at coins that are safer, right? You want to avoid coins that are concentrated in terms of ownership. So if one person has 90% or 95% of all the coins that's circulating, then it's a little bit risky lah. So I wouldn't trade those kind of coins. You want to see what the coin does, like what's the purpose, what's the team trying to do, and understand it from that perspective. So that is something that you want to look at. You want to look at the volumes as well, how much is being traded. If only $50 a day or $100 a day, it's obviously a dead coin. Okay, so those are some of the things that you might want to look into, which I guess also somewhat answer Shirley's question as well. Yeah. Okay, Tan says your crypto return will be less over time. Does it mean it'll be hard for Bitcoin to get to 100K? No, actually 3x of Bitcoin is about 100K. So I think that's kind of like the broad expectation it will go. Can it go to 500K in the next cycle? I think it's hard. 100K falls within its possible portion. Yeah. Does DCA coin still make money? Yes, most of my funds from most of my money I made from DCA. Any recommended amount to start investing in crypto? So that question is nuanced. Like it might be better to think about it as how much money do you have that you want to allocate to crypto? Typically, I would say 10% is the default. If you are younger, you want to take more risks, you can do 20 to 30%. Okay, how to get started? I think you need to learn about how to buy and sell. You need to learn about things like how to build a portfolio. What are some ways to enter? What are things that you want to look out for in altcoins for sure? These are some of the questions that you want to answer if you want to get started. Okay. Okay, so those of you who are keen, let me share about the bootcamp first, and then you can continue asking me the question. Now, for those of you who want to take it further, you want a bit more time to learn about crypto, you can join our 2.5-day bootcamp. So it's going to be conducted by Crypto Night Academy. We have been serving students since 2017. 33,000 have been taught about crypto, 700 into the mentorship program, and our goal is to make crypto simple, practical, and affordable. So with that, we develop our 2.5-day bootcamp. So this bootcamp is done via Zoom. So when I say live, I mean live webinar or live Zoom session. It'll be 2.5 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will talk about market overview and trends, key profit systems, key profit strategies in the crypto ecosystems, as well as mindset and tools to profit from the growing crypto and NFT markets. It's valued at 2,140. On the first day, we'll talk about some key factors that lead people to become crypto millionaires, as well as how to navigate on the blockchain. Second day, we will teach you how to invest like a crypto millionaire, but most importantly, without taking unnecessary risks. So this is where you want to be avoiding your scams. You want to be knowing what to look out for when you get your journey started. We also talk about tools on how to buy NFT and small caps for decentralized exchanges and easy profit methods that crypto millionaires use. Finally, on day 3 will be how to choose winning NFT and small cap projects. And those are the ones that will potentially give the 10 to 100x during the parabolic bull run. And finally, how to gather profitable and actionable insights from the blockchain with crypto research tools. So the trainers are myself, Ethan, my co-founder, and Jian Cao, who is our options specialist. As a bonus, especially for you who are asking, is it going to be too difficult? How do I get started? What exchanges do I use? These are frequently asked questions and very important questions that we have received over time. So we're going to give a bonus, which is a technical online video course. There will be 7 in-depth learning modules with 30 recorded videos and more than 7 hours of content. So this is valued at $997. This is what the video online course will look like. So if you have time, you can finish watching this, then go for the bootcamp. If you click on the modules, you will get several chapters underneath. If you have questions that you'd like to discuss, on the top right, you're actually able to click and then go into like a forum of sorts. and then you can ask questions there. So myself and the other instructors, as well as the other students, they will be able to answer your questions or to join in the discussion. Okay. So we rated 5 out of 5 so far. Third thing is that you'll get another bonus, which are exclusive templates and resources to systemize and track prices, as well as to calculate suitable investment amounts. And that's valued at 397. Okay, so to build a skyscraper, we believe they have to dig deep in the foundations. The bigger you want your portfolio to become, the stronger foundations must be. So Crypto Profit Secrets is designed for that, to build the foundations of crypto. The total value is 3,537. But today, for people who are here for MIVS, we will give a special price. But on top of that, we have already prepared about 10 coupons that you can use. So if you use this coupon MIVS 500, you'll be able to get an extra $500 off for those of you who wish to sign up through the coupon. So the website is this, bit.ly, Crypto Profit Secrets. Alternatively, you can actually scan this, and this should bring you to the page. So let me show you how you can actually sign up. Okay. bit.ly, Crypto Profit Secrets. Okay, so you come into a page like this. On the top right, you will see something that says Get Started Now. So you can click on that, and then it will bring you to a page like this. Okay, so if you're using your mobile phone, right, on the top, you will see details lah. So you can click on the details, and then you should be able to see the price. And below the price, there's something that says Have a Coupon. Click on it and type in MIVS 500. Okay, and then click Apply. Then you should be able to join for 497 Sing dollars. Yeah. So if you need to look at it again, over here, you'll go to the page, and I can actually type it in the chat as well. Oh yeah, there you go. So if you click on the chat, down the top right, you can click Get Started Now. Fill in your details, and then type in MIVS 500. Then click Apply. Yeah. Okay. So those of you who would like to join, that's what you can do. You can scan this QR code as well. And the next upcoming class is actually going to be the last weekend of October. So it is 20, let me see the dates. It's going to be 27, 28, and 29 of October. And the final one will actually be on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of December. Then we are done for the year already. Okay. Yeah, so 3 things you will get. The main thing that you're signing up for is a 2.5-day live Zoom webinar bootcamp. You guys will also get access to the online video recording course, which is about 7 hours. And then you will get the various bonus as well, the templates, various like sign up bonuses, etc. Yeah. Let's see if you have any questions that you have. I'll go over to the question section. I actually only have 1 minute left, like Alex. How should I do this?
You have that we have about 5 more minutes left before I proceed to the next session. So we still can answer a few questions. I think the latest question you can see from the Q&A tab is from Tan. Okay, so what is your view on Cathy Wood's prediction on BTC will get to $1 million?
I hope she's right.
I also hope that she's right. Okay. Yeah. So Denise is asking, what time frame after launch do you start assessing an altcoin? I don't really know what she meant by that.
So you mean like after it IPO, after it creates, when can you start assessing? I mean, depends like if you are planning to buy it at the IPO stage, you need to assess it before it launched already. After it launch, you can straight away assess it. So there isn't the time frame of when you assess it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's the answer.
Okay, I think Taylor asked a very important question in the chat. Okay, so he asked, what if you can't attend the upcoming 2 sessions in October and December?
Then you have to wait until next year. So the dates are not out for next year. But typically we try to do one boot camp every 1 to 2 months. So most likely the next one will be in end January.
Okay, so just to let you guys know, right, the live one is actually Zoom live. So even if you are not residing in Singapore from overseas, you still can attend the classes run by Chris. Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, so once again, I post the link in the comments.
Oh, remember to use the coupon.
Oh, yeah, remember to use the coupon code. So I already mentioned the coupon code in the chat, MIVS 500. So Kok Kyong in the chat is asking, is there any live trading or recommendation sent out to members when an opportunity arises? Main thing is we do have a lot of time to track.
No, this is for the bootcamp, 2.5 days bootcamp. So there isn't like a alpha core group kind of thing.
So is there any advanced course and the price for it?
So for those guys who want to learn the advanced stuff, like for example, 2.5 days, obviously not enough time for you to learn how to do something like yield farming. Yield farming, you need to learn how to bring stuff on chain. They need to know how to do bridging. They need to understand liquidity pools. They need to set up liquidity pools. You need to set up parameters. That is an entire thing by itself. So depending on how advanced the module you want, there will be different pricing for that. I think what would probably be better for you to access is, do you want to learn what is being taught in the 2.5 days first? Like, do you want to learn the system of building a portfolio, learning about how to manage your risk, learning about risk factors that you want to look out for in crypto, how to shortlist altcoins? These are things that will be taught in the 2.5 days. Like, if you want that, then you join. Then after you join, if you want the advanced class, you can then join then. If not, it's fine as well. So it makes your decision a little bit easier. Yeah, I hope that answers the questions. Okay. Anything else?
Anything else from the Q&A tab? Melvin is asking, is CoinHako good to as in a platform good to use to accumulate?
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Any other specific question regarding the 2.5 days bootcamp and also the course from the crypto profit secrets? Okay. All right. Maybe just a few more seconds before we end the session. Once again, I'll post the link in the chat. Okay. All right. So what are the dates again? So Melvin is asking what are the dates. Maybe I'll show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I type it out in the chat?
Yep. Maybe you could just type it out in the chat.
Yeah. So the one in October is, so the ones on Friday starts in the evening. Then Saturday, Sunday is morning till 4. The upcoming one is 27 to 29 October. Then the final one for the year is going to be on 1st, 2nd, 3rd of December.
We will be providing the recording if, as in, let's say they can't attend the live.
Yeah, there'll be recordings that they can access. But if they cannot come, then just go for the next one lah. No need to go for
watch the
the
recording
upcoming one.
So in fact, so there are options now. So let's say if they really want to attend but cannot attend on October, they still can watch the recording but they still can go to the next session in maybe next year or so. Am I right to say that?
Oh no, like if you register for October, let's say you miss we'll send out recordings for October, but let's say you miss out 2 hours on Saturday, then you watch the 2 hours. But if you're gonna miss out the entire thing in October, then you just go to the December one.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. But there is a recorded video course, 7 hours long, then it's structured into different chapters and modules. That one is immediately available and 24/7 watchable. So that one forms the base, right? So the things like portfolio building, altcoin selection, it already is formed at that recording level. Then we will build upon it, and then during the 2.5 days, we will teach more stuff.
Okay, so I think that's about all. We're also running short of time. So once again, thank you, Chris, for your sharing on the crypto today. And yeah, once again, last call, I'll post the link in the chat box. Okay, right, take advantage of the offer. Remember to key in the coupon code MIVS500. And back to you, June.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Chris, for your sharing.
Thank
Not just
you.
on the trends for crypto, but also possible scams that we may encounter. So I'm sure that today we also learned that we should not take profits too quickly and take losses too slowly. Did I get that right? That's something that he said earlier on, right? So to know more about crypto, do join Chris in his bootcamp, the Crypto Profit Secret Bootcamp. Our next session is starting at 2:30 p.m. And once again, it will be at a new link. So do go to the new link, click on the new link that Alex is going to post right now, or go to your email or social channels for the next link, where we'll be hearing from Miss Binny Ong. She's going to share with you on a 5-day trading tips to make money. I'll see you in the next Zoom room.
Yep, so please don't stay around here. Please head over to the next room right now and see you there in just a few minutes of time. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.